One day when the king, Shah Jahan, went hunting, he chased a wounded deer and ran away from his companions. It was noon. There was no sign of the distant comrades. The king was very thirsty. All of a sudden his eyes fell on a big tree, under the cool shade of which a shepherd was sitting, with his sheep and goats. The king, who was in hunting clothes at the time, asked the shepherd for water. He said that the water he had brought with him had run out. He immediately washed a pot with the milk of one goat, and gave the milk of the other goat to the king to drink. Shah Jahan liked what the shepherd said, and asked for a piece of paper from the shepherd. "Where is the paper with this shepherd in the forest?" The king broke a leaf of the tree, and wrote something on it, with the tip of a dagger, and handed it to the shepherd, and said, "Here is your reward. I have given you 2 villages in your possession. Come to Mosque of the Delhi on Friday and meet us." The shepherd returned home happy. Putting his blanket on the ground, he placed the leaf on it, and began to close the goats. A goat that came from here picked up the leaf in its mouth and licked it, before the shepherd arrived. The shepherd was very sad, and he went to the forest saying that the goat had eaten 2 villages. He stopped eating and drinking. All the time, he kept on repeating, the goat had eaten 2 villages. Friday finally arrived. The shepherd left his village, and headed for Delhi. As he walked, it was noon. He entered the mosque with repeating words. The goat had eaten 2 villages, and saw all the worshippers raising their hands, in supplication. When he saw the king praying too, he suddenly shouted, "If the giver gives a lot, I will take," and ran away saying the same. After the prayer, the king searched for him, but could not find him. When he reached the forest, it was evening, and the shepherd climbed a big old tree and sat down. At night some robbers came there, and started talking about robbing the village. The shepherd scolded them, and said, "Stealing is a bad thing, and this village is also poor. If you need money, dig under this tree. I have heard from my elders that the old treasure is buried here." Saying this, he walked towards the village, with repeating the words, "If the giver gives a lot, I will take." After much discussion, the robbers dug into the ground, and found 2 pots full of snakes and scorpions. Seeing this, the robbers became very angry, and picked up the pots, and started walking towards the village. A shepherd's voice was coming from a hut. They overturned the 2 pots in his yard so that the snake and scorpion could bite him. But the diamonds fall from it. The whole village woke up to the sound of diamonds, and the dacoits ran away with their feet on their heads. Seeing the wealth, the shepherd shouted, "Lord, you are right, you have given me a great wealth." In the next morning, the king's servants also reached the village, and brought him to the court. After telling the whole story to the king, the shepherd refused to accept the reward, saying that, "When you also beg from one who gives to everyone, then why, I shouldn't ask him to? You see, he has given me my reward." The king honorably sent the shepherd to his village. If you like this story, then please subscribe to our channel, so that you can get more motivational stories like this. Thanks for watching, stay happy.